My name is Ricky Chops and I am a professional keyboard destroyer. If you don't know what destroying keyboards means, I highly suggest you Google it. In the meanwhile though, what I do is simple. I play Call of Duty and I research legitimate actresses and I put the two together for your fapping pleasure. And I'll tell you this, gentlemen, both activities, they leave my hands all cramped up. Take heed, gentlemen. This series is for immature audiences only, so please be advised. Welcome to the Keyboard Destruction Series. Hey kids, welcome back to the Keyboard Destruction Series. I am your host and scholar, Ricky Chops. Today we're going to be taking a look at a retro legitimate actress who made her impact in the early 90s and throughout the decade made a lot of men wet their pants. I present to you Wendy Whoppers. Currently she is 41 years old and retired from acting. There's some contention as to whether or not she was born in 1968 or 1970. However, most websites pin her date of birth as August 13th, 1970, so we're going to roll with that. She stands 5'1" and weighs a wispy 97 pounds. Her measurements are 38, 21, 34, and she's American. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, she became a dancer at 18. Originally, she was working menial jobs to pay her way through college to become a lab technician, but she gave up that life once she noticed that dancing for drunk men with disposable income was substantially more lucrative, and she performed under the name Tommy Tatas for a minute. After dropping out of school, she bumped up her B cups to a Triple H cup and became a legitimate actress for the majority of the 1990s. During her career, she enlarged her breasts 4 times. She eventually got married and divorced and had 2 children, but since her retirement in 1998, she lives in Fort Lauderdale with her sons and her boyfriend and has had 2 breast reductions, which, if you ask me, is just absurd. Why would you do that? During her run, she performed in approximately 71 titles of upstanding quality and prestige. So after telling my wife that I was taking a nap and then proceeding to research Wendy extensively, I've come to the following assessments. Hair, it varies. It looks great when it's straightened, but it looks terrible when it's in an early 90s style. Face, sharp features, like a Ginsu knife. Chesticles, massive. Requires the use of at least 3 hands per breast and possibly 1 foot. Body, slim, like she does cocaine on a nightly basis. Legs, thin and chicken-like. Let's move on to the pros. Right off the bat, you'll notice Wendy is quite petite. She's the epitome of a spinner chick, and for those of you who are unaware what a spinner chick is, well, that's a girl who is light enough to ride a gentleman and spin on his Johnson after a good strong twirl. The great thing about a small lady is that she automatically makes a dude's penis look bigger by contrast. It's kind of like the same principle as when a woman surrounds herself with ugly friends. You know, she looks good by association. Her tight body coupled with her massive talents gives her the right to say that she is truly slim and stacked. Her diminutive stature transitions well into her next pro. Wendy is a strong Peter Puffer. I'm not sure if she learned how to handle Wang during her college years, but it sure paid off. A good Wendy Whoppers video will always have her performing a mouth vacuuming session on a dude way bigger than her, again playing on her smaller size. As a legitimate actress, this is probably the best skill to have because let's face it, most of the time the guy's really doing the work. Sad but true. As a person out in the real world looking for a job, both male and female now, I highly suggest you invest in some knee pads and start working out those forearms. Last pro, she has a nice looking female reproductive organ and she keeps it maintained to almost military regulation. As many longtime fans of this series already know, I'm quite disgusted by the look of a vagina. Too many layers, too many lips, it looks like a pack of bologna left out in the sun too long. However, when a woman goes out of her way to make hers look as nice as possible, I take that as a compliment. So guys, if you go out with a woman and she doesn't do her best to keep her womanly parts clean, well organized, and stuffed back in, you already know she's not that into you. If you made it far enough to get a look, consider yourself lucky and chalk it up to the alcohol you force-fed her throughout that night. Ladies, do the right thing. Tighten up that twat. Moving on to the cons. While her body may be great, her face is nothing special. In fact, she kind of reminds me of Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and in the right light, she looks like she might be sniffing a piece of cheese. For me, a legitimate actress must always strive to look her best, but unfortunately, Wendy's face resembles a 5-foot ninjutsu practicing radioactive rat, and there's not much she can do about that. Next con, Wendy has a tendency to just lay there and take a pounding and look very disinterested, and in fact I think I may have caught her reading a book in a few videos, I'm not too sure, but this kind of behavior in a film is unacceptable. As a legitimate actress, you must always play the role of a deeply dicked and satisfied woman. Fake it if you have to, but sell it. You can't just lay there and act like you're having sex with an Asian dude. I mean, that's just not right. Think of the guys trying to rub one out while you're sleeping through your performance. It's very rude and unprofessional, Miss Whoppers. Final KDR, I'm giving her a 7 because of the aforementioned reasons, but if she would have been born with a better face that didn't require pounds of makeup to be passable, I would have given her an 8. I will say this though, I have some of her films on standby in my hard drive in case my internet goes out, so take that for what it's worth. Now, by far, my favorite performance of hers is her scene with Peter North in Private Fantasies 8 from 1992. Easily her best scene, and with Peter North pile driving her multiple times, you're going to be sure to spill some of your boys all over your keyboard, so be ready and bring your gym socks. So check that out. Anyway, that's our lady for this week, gentlemen. Make sure to tune in next week on Thursday when I bring you yet another legitimate actress for all those lonely nights when that girl that sits 2 aisles down from you in chemistry rejects you. Please make sure to like and favorite the video as it helps me produce better content, and if you want to see a particular actress in this series, feel free to leave her name in the comment section. Finally, if you enjoyed the video and would like to see some more, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Until next week, kids, keep those tabs open on your browsers. Trust me, gentlemen, I'm a professional.
And my pro would be more cushion for the pushing.
Okay.
More, there's that more being understated. A whole
Yeah,
fucking hell
yeah.
of a lot cushion.
You know what,
Wait till
Ricky? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you know, Ricky, I was actually upset when I searched this fucking obese bitch up. But you know what? My pro was that she has an amazing fupa.